The safest way for any of us to spend Christmas is with our own household, in our own home and our own local area. Just because we are allowing people to meet up in a limited way does not, of course, mean that people have to do so, and people should not feel under pressure to do so. This virus spreads when people come together, so we are asking everyone to think carefully before using these flexibilities. And of course, with the possibility of vaccines now so close, none of us will want to take unnecessary risks, particularly with older or more vulnerable relatives. So we should all consider whether there are alternative ways to have Christmas contact with those we love this year, for example, by meeting outside on a family walk or by using technology. However, we recognise the reality that at Christmas, some people will feel the need to meet up with others, and so this guidance sets out advice on how to do that as safely as possible, although it's important for me to stress that the advice, even if fully implemented, will not completely eradicate risk. In summary, travel restrictions will be lifted across the UK between 23rd and 27th December, but only to allow travel to join a bubble. There should be no more than 3 households in a bubble, and in Scotland we are asking that this includes no more than 1 extended household. In general, our advice is to keep any bubble as small as possible and to have no more than 8 people over the age of 12 within it. People other than students who share flats should try to stay in the same bubble as each other over Christmas, but if they do join different bubbles, our advice is to isolate from flatmates for around a week, both before and after the Christmas period. And members of a bubble should not change. You cannot meet with 2 households one day and then a different household the next. As well as meeting in each other's homes, these bubbles can meet outside or go to a place of worship together, but mustn't use hospitality together or go shopping together. And finally, we are advising that if you want to visit someone over Christmas in a care home or in a hospital, you should not form a bubble. Meeting other people indoors and then visiting someone in one of these settings increases the chances of transmitting the virus within a care home or hospital. We've given very careful thought to this guidance. It hasn't been easy to come to these conclusions. I know that some people will think the guidance is too strict. Others will think that any relaxation is reckless, and I have to say I understand both points of view. We are trying to balance as best we can 2 conflicting priorities. We know that some people will come to the view that the right thing for them at Christmas is spending time indoors with friends and loved ones who might otherwise be isolated and alone. So we want to make sure there is clear guidance about boundaries in place. But we also know the virus will not take a break over Christmas, and indoor gatherings present a high risk of transmission. Having people from different generations in particular can be risky, as we know younger people who have to go out to work and can often live in shared accommodation are more likely to have been exposed to the virus. So I would urge everyone to consider carefully what arrangements they make at Christmas and think about the balance of risks involved. I think for all of us, if we can find a different way of marking Christmas this year, the fact is that that will be a safer alternative, albeit a very tough one for everyone. For the moment, of course, and this is my final point, Presiding Officer, the best way in which all of us can try to make the Christmas period and what comes after that as safe as possible is getting infection rates down as low as possible as we can now.